Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you out there. I hope that you're all able to get out in nature somewhere, and plus I hope you brought plenty of drinking water. Forget about the soda or the energy drinks. Starlight used to drink those energy drinks. I did drink soda a long time ago, but ginger ale was my favorite, but I don't even drink that anymore. But make sure you bring some good water out there, not your water from your tap. And so anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, I want to let you know you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is at Kathy with a K Digman. So before I start, I also want to reach out to all of you, beautiful souls, and make sure you are taking good care of yourself, and not only to get out and get some exercise, get some sun. This is my favorite time of the year. Really, it's cool at night, great for camping. So Starlight's planning on doing that very soon. I'm getting my list ready, and I got to look and find a place to go. Where am I going to go? So, if you love camping, hey, get out there, bring your kids, teach them how to do everything, get them involved. It's so really important. That way, when they get older, hey, they'll be going camping. They'll be like, hey, I had fun with my mom and dad, and a lot of the state campsites, you pay so much money, like for that time, get them out, get them, there's some water. So anyway, if you want to see a change in the world, you can like this video, and you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can ring the notification bell. That way you don't miss any videos. And you can leave a message down below, bing, bing, bing. And I do want to say I'm sorry, yesterday I accidentally thought I was uploading a new video, and this is my third time trying to get it uploaded on my app. So hopefully I will be able to get that out tonight. And of course you're not going to even see this video, this one that I'm making right now. You're not going to see this one today, but I do want to say I'm sorry, because I know I noticed that I made a boo-boo. I don't know how I did that. Everything was a boo-boo. But hey, it just shows that, I'm not perfect, and I have a lot of lessons to learn making videos. But anyway, tonight, I was going to wait a little bit longer, like this Friday coming up, and I really was supposed to make this video last night, but I forgot. So, because I wanted this to be made on a Friday. So anyway, I do know some people that are waiting for this particular video. They've been waiting and being very patient with me, and I told them that, yes, Starlight is going to make this video, and this is the month of August. So I was trying to really make this video a year after when this happened. So this spiritual awakening, if you don't know what one of those are, I do have other videos that I did make about my other spiritual awakenings. So you really are going to want to check these out. And I don't know how long this is going to take. For this, I might have to break it up in two, so I'm not sure. So anyway, I'm going to jump right in. Last year, like a little bit later, it was like a week later, on a Friday, like with my spiritual awakening last year in 2022, in August, I had a very strange thing that happened to Starlight, and I was actually at a client's house on that particular Friday, and I was dog sitting. Besides, I also cleaned for that particular family, and it was funny and strange is when I got done dog sitting, because once the dog, got taken out after, whatever time that was, more than likely, I try to break that time up with the dog. That way, the dog could be in the house for so many hours, and then I can come back and take the dog out for another walk before I shut everything down. Like as far as the dog going back outside again, because I use a black shepherd, so I didn't want to let him out in the nighttime because I wouldn't see him if he just decided, hey, like I'm gonna just walk out in the yard somewhere, because that's what he would do. Is he wasn't like he was always at the house, but there's times when I dogs that they would take off, and it's like, Duke, where did you go? I thought you had a collar on or something that kept you at the house. So anyway, something was going on with me, inside of me, when I got done dog sitting for Dookie. He had passed away, though, so sad. But he was old, and he's a gentleman dog. And so anyway, with Dookie is after I got done dog sitting, something inside of me wanted me to hurry up, because last year, every single day practically, I went out and I was working on a 5D fort. I was making a fort out off a bike trail. It was probably 50 feet off the bike trail. So I thought I had a good spot, where I had it located. And I have to tell you all this information ahead of time so you know what, like why Starlight does whatever she does, is last year I had a couple guys that found my 5D fort, and they have trashed it a couple times. They've stolen plenty of my brand new stuff. They tried to steal paint, which a brand new spray paint, all the, a bunch of cans of spray paint, because Starlight was doing artwork out there in the middle of nowhere. And they weren't that wise, because they hid it, and then it's kind of funny how the universe, I was like, they stole my paint, and the universe guided me right where it was, and I'm like, that's funny, I found it that quick, so anyway, there was a couple guys that I believe that they knew each other. One was into black magic or witchcraft, and he wanted me to be his student. And I decided, I need to move my fort. So I did. I moved my fort, and you wouldn't believe it. It took me a whole day to bring all my stuff from one area in the woods, and I had to find another area to bring everything. I had like bags and bags and bags that Starlight carried from one area to another to have a new 5D fort. You wouldn't believe it. So anyway, I get everything all over in a new place, thinking, there. I won't have this guy that wants to teach me about black magic. I didn't want to learn about black magic, or, I'm all about helping people, not like putting spells on people like this particular man was. So anyway, in those days, I was smoking pot. So I was smoking pot almost every single day, pretty much every day, So anyway, my fort, at the time, the whole frame was up, and I was working on the roof. That's the hardest part, working on the fort. And anyway, when I was at my client's house, I was getting my stuff all ready. I have to make sure, I always kind of brought like some munchy food with me, and I got my backpack. And I went as fast, something inside of me. It's like the universe was like, woo, like wanted me to get to that 5D fort really fast. And I did the speed limit. It was only like about a 25, about a 25-minute drive to get to my 5D fort, but it's a 40-minute walk, So I had to get everything out of my car, and I had my backpack. I'm normally carrying a couple bags with some music, and I might have been smoking on my way, but not this day. This day, something inside of me was rushing me to hurry up and get to my 5D fort. And so I was just going along with the flow of whatever was going on. I didn't even know I was going through any changes at the time. The weird thing is that, like I said, I was walking back and forth on this bike trail every day last year. And, every day, back and forth, whether it rained. There's days that I went out there because, I was working on the roof where I could go under the roof. But, I didn't get a lot of rain. But the thing why I'm saying all this is I wore shorts all the time with my sandals and, or my sneakers. And, where I do not like wearing sneakers in the summertime. So more than likely I had my sandals on or my sneakers. And so what I was doing every day for the longest time, because I knew this man was putting spells on the bike trail, and I knew that there's a lot of negative energy on the bike trail. Starlight didn't want to walk on the bike trail. So what I did is, I walked far away from the bike trail, but in the grass, and I carried all my stuff, and I had lots of people wondering, who's that, crazy chick out there? Why is she walking across the grass? And, there'd be times I even did that barefoot, carrying all my stuff, and I didn't care what anybody thought. I wasn't hurting anybody. So the whole way I was walking on the grass, and then it would narrow out the trail where it was, where the bike trail was here, all paved for bikes and, people to go on with their dogs and whatever. And then on each side of the trail was some grass on both sides. So I always walked on the left side, to head up to my fort, because my fort was on the left side. And every time, I did the, like the same thing, would walk in the grass, But this particular day, because I've been messed with by this particular guy, putting spells and, casting spells on the bike trail and stuff, the weirdest stuff was happening to me this day. It didn't happen any other day until this day came. Is I knew immediately when it was happening that somebody must have put like a weird spell on the trail and stuff like this. This guy found me by accident. It was kind of weird how he found my, after I moved all my stuff to the new 5D fort. I'm telling you, I did so much work just moving, going through bushes, going through trails, going up and down hills, like it was probably a good 15-minute walk back and forth carrying all this stuff that I bought, because I had a lot of arts and crafts and all kinds of stuff for the fort, plastic and, rope and everything you can think. Starlight had a lot of crazy stuff out there, and I was going to decorate trees like I was. So I had all these bags, and it took me, that whole day from the morning all the way to the afternoon to get all that stuff shipped over to a new spot so I can have a new fort started all over again, so I don't get bothered by anybody. It took like a week. Couldn't believe it. All my stuff was in bags. I had it covered up with tarp because it was raining on and off throughout that week. And boom, somebody found it that quick. And when they did, they threw all my stuff all over. They didn't even know I had pot in there. They didn't know I had a smoking bowl in there. They didn't know I had a grinder in there. And they just threw all my stuff all over. And then I had to pick all that stuff up, put it back in the bags. Then I realized, hey, he stole it was an old bowl for smoking pot. It had a hole in it, so that's why I didn't care if it was stolen or not. And it, it only had like a little bit of weed in there. And it's so funny because he threw everything all over, and then he realized, there's a bowl and there's some pot, So they did. They found that after they threw it all over. And so anyway, I had two men that were visiting on and off. I never knew when they were actually going out to the fort. So what I did, I'm not stupid. It's kind of funny what I did is I had so much pot that I bought on my own, because I was working for, myself, have my own cleaning business, is I decided, hey, after I picked all my stuff up and was working on the roof, I had all my stuff, covered, with tarp. And I had a little spot which was like I had like a shell from a water heater tank that I had decorated and painted and put 5D on there with stars and had all kinds of fun doing that and putting love stickers all over and all these things. So that was like my table out there that I made. It was just a shell. And so behind that I had folding chairs and I had a bag, and that's where my candles and my incense and my pot and my bowl would be in that bag. And so I had a different bowl up there with me this time. And what I was doing is I was purposely leaving a bowl of enough pot, marijuana, for a bowl. So this is what was going on through the whole summer of last year is that this other guy, not the guy that did the, they might have been friends. I do believe they were friends. But he would come to my fort, and I caught him one day. I was sneaking out of my 5D portal. I called it my 5D portal. And I seen a guy coming in, so I never seen him before. So I knew what he looked like. So I knew on a bike trail, I seen him, oh, that's the guy that goes to my 5D fort. So anyway, I knew what he looked like. And so this guy would come in and out, like, I didn't know how many times throughout, So I would leave a bowl of pot for him, and he would actually not mess with my stuff. He would go and take the pot, and then, might have hung out and whatever, and then left. And he was doing that, so and that was my way of knowing if he was around or not. It's like, I would go up to my 5D4 and I would, first thing I'd get all my stuff down. I would smoke right away because I would be driving later on. I don't want to be high driving a car. So I would hurry up, get my radio set up, get the candles and incense and all that stuff. And then I'm like, smoke a joint or smoke a bowl. And that was my routine. And then when I get there to check out the bowl and see if there was any marijuana in there, and if it was gone, I'm like, oh, he was here. I don't know what day he was here, but he was here this week, sometime. And so that's how I kept track of him. So anyway, last year, like I was saying, is on my way walking there, like for a while I have to walk on the bike trail because there's no way I can walk on the grass because it's hilly on the one side, and then there's a guardrail that you can't, so you don't fall down into the water, for kids. So once I get down to that area, then I can walk on the grass, and then I can walk way out in the field, but I'm still walking along with the bike trail. So that's what I did, just like I did, like for the longest time on that bike trail. And I had a lot of people that would wave at me because they got used to me back and forth every day on that trail, so it was kind of comical, like there's that Starlight chick again, or there's that crazy chick over there again, because they'd see me barefoot, a big old backpack on my back, 2 big old bags, a little girl like me, or barefoot sometimes. So I did get all kinds of strange looks on this bike trail. But this particular day, like I said, I walked back and forth on this trail every day practically, even on rainy days. Because I love going out on rainy days. Nobody's out there, really. I think like the animals, you don't want to avoid people go out on a rainy day, really nobody's out because they don't want to get wet. So anyway, I felt like an urgency to hurry up and get to my 5D. I don't know what was going on, but I just was doing this. I was walking as fast as I could. Once I got where the trail was narrow and I had to walk really close to the bike trail, on the side of it, is something on my legs. I was being attacked. Like my legs kept on getting bit the whole entire, I'm telling you, it's like somebody put some kind of spell, and it sounds crazy when I say this, but I'm telling you, how come it didn't happen on all the other days? It just happened on this particular day when I was having a spiritual awakening. And the universe knew that this man or men were at my 5D. I believe it was a couple the way I was feeling at the time when I went there. So anyway, something is making me really walk really fast, and besides I'm getting bit up. My legs are like, they were like flies were just biting me and biting me and biting me the whole way. And I'm praying that these, because they're demons, attacking me. It was so crazy that I'm praying about, getting these demons off of me because it's crazy that how bad they were attacking my legs the whole way. So anyway, I get through my right where my 5D fort is, and I don't walk right in there because I don't want anybody to see me. So I will look around and look both ways, and because it could be a bicycler and they're a guy or a girl on a bike, and they go pretty fast, So I have to keep an eye. I'm like, if it's a bike person, then it's like good, it's a bike person, then they're going to be by really quick, I don't have to wait long. And once it's clear, then I go in my portal, my 5D portal that I created, and so then I would go through my 5D portal, then I would get to my fort, which I said is like 50 feet away from the bike trail. You know, it's near the road, actually, the thruway, you know, where I go on a lot. You know, so the road is way in the back where this 5D fort is. And that's where my fort, it's in a perfect spot because the noise and the traffic, you can't hear Starlight doing some weird stuff out there because the traffic behind me. So it's a good sound barrier. But once I got out to my 5D fort, you know, I was having, you know, like I was having a spiritual awakening before I even entered. You know, I was going through changes in my body before, you know, on something like the universe was like, you know, did something to my body. However, it happened, you know, when I was leaving the people, I couldn't wait to get done with dog sit, you know, to get out to my 5D fort. You know, I was so excited, you know, because I would get closer at getting things done, and I was so excited and working on it. And but this particular day was different. You know, it's like the universe was letting me know is the person or the people that have been messing with you, they're at your 5D fort right now. Hurry up, Starlight, get there. And that's exactly how I felt and what I believe. So here I am at my 5D fort, and whoa, like I changed. I'm like, not kidding you. I was not Starlight anymore. I felt like you know, I couldn't see them in the bushes or anything, but I knew that they were there, and they hid. And so it sounds crazy when I say this because I have no proof of this, but it was on. I was actually, I knew that they were, you know, the universe hurried up and got me to get there at this, you know, my 5D fort because I was getting frustrated, you know, with the stuff that they've been doing with my stuff, stealing things, you know, and throwing things around, you know, being, you know, really, there's no reason for that. And every time I have a fort, somebody has to, you know, like ruin it, you know, destroy it, you know, the same kind of stuff happens, you know, and it's just that those people are a different kind of energy than Starlight is. And anyway, I did have some wood laying around, you know, because I'm working on my 5D fort, and I'm not sure at that point, it might have been working on the roof or whatever, and, you know, so I had different size sticks around, and the crazy thing is that I found this one stick that I had handy nearby, you know, and I was, you know, like used it for a certain thing out in by my 5D fort, and I felt like I turned into Moses with a staff. So here Starlight has a staff in her hand, and I was like, I totally changed. I mean, like, I had some power. I mean, like, I had gone to church like for years, and you know, I went into one from 1995 to 2000, and then the other one from 2000 all the way up to 2007. So I read my Bible, you know, not that I was understood everything in the Bible, but I learned a lot of verses from, especially the second church. They were really into getting you to remember God's word. So even though I don't read God's word at all, and I haven't like for years, like I had verses that were locked inside of me that I wasn't even aware of that I knew, you know, or that I remembered, you know, because I was trying to remember certain ones to protect myself, you know, and you know, I definitely felt like I was Moses with a staff because I had that stick, you know, and like I feel like the power of God, you know, was inside of me. Like God was using my body to like kind of scare these two guys that were in there because I believe they definitely were friends, you know, because my other 5D, when that got wrecked one time, I was just in there and I was painting plastic for my roof, and it was going to be rainbow color roof, you know, like the chocolate colors, the red, orange, yellow, you know, green, blue, and then the violet, like the violet color or whatever. I'm not sure exactly how they word it, and then you know the crown chocolate color, you know. So I had all these different color plastics painted from soda 2-liter soda bottles that I learned online that you can make a roof out of soda liter bottles. I'm not going to explain how to do that, but, I had them all laid out, and it looked so beautiful, and I sprayed painted them all at my old 5D fort, and then they were air drying. I went to the park, laid out in the sun, got some color. By the time I came back, so 2 hours went by when I got back at my old fort, my 5D fort, all the plastic that I actually just got done painting, somebody came through in that period of time and just destroyed everything, threw everything around, let me know that they were there. And the other guy that, I met in person that was in the black magic and witchcraft, he appears, and he said that he, seen this guy at my 5D fort. So I definitely believe that they knew each other. It's just kind of weird that he's there at the same time that this all happened. So I didn't trust this guy. I thought, is he being honest with me? Is he lying? Did he do all this? Because he wanted me to be his student. He's been looking for a student for a long time, and I ignored him. I was working on the fort, and that's why I needed to move my fort to begin with, because I wasn't up. I had to build my fort. I had to get the roof. I ain't got time to sit there and talk about black magic spells, So anyway, those two guys, I definitely believe they knew each other. So those are the two that I believe was at my 5D fort on this particular day. And so I had that staff in my hand, and I was like, I had the power of God. My voice changed, and I was saying scriptures in the Bible, on these two, and I could feel them. I could feel their energy, in the, hiding and around, and I was not afraid one bit at all. I mean, like, I had some power in me, like, you would not believe, like the power of God was inside of me, and it's almost like God knew, like what these people were doing to me, and like what they're up to and all that, and God like kind of rearranged all this stuff for this to happen. And that is why I don't go to my 5D fort this year, because the universe, I have a story on that one. The universe actually told me to get out, like, and had a way of getting me out, and I realized, okay, the universe doesn't want me to come here anymore, because these two guys, they just, they're up to no good. And so I was walking and standing around, and I was hunting them down. I'm like, and it's so funny, you look at me thinking, you? Yeah, I had to definitely, you get God inside of your body, you'd be surprised. And I know this is, I'm glad this video is going good, so it won't be a two-part video, is that I had to, like using that stick like a staff, and, it's almost like I felt like I was a dog, like I could feel them there. They were freaking there. I couldn't see them, but I could freaking feel them. I could feel their energy. I could feel what they were thinking. I could feel that they thought it was funny at first, but later on I did scare the blank out of them, because really God was using me as a way to scare the blank out of them, let them know, you better stop, messing with this Starlight chick, because God knew what was going on for a long time. There's no reason for people to just destroy things, like it was a beautiful fort. It was for anybody that, hey, want to hang out with Starlight? It was, it wasn't like I was like, this is mine and nobody can hang out. No, I wanted somebody that, would be safe to, like to be there. And hey, if it's a rainy day, they would have a spot to go. And that's really, a reason why I like making forts. If it's a rainy day and you're out in the woods, hey, I'm just going to go to my 5D fort. It's got the roof and everything, so those guys did hide in the bushes, and I can feel them. But I was amazed. I took that freaking rod, that staff, I was like, and I, right in the ground, I'm like, I was quoting some verses in the Bible that, I didn't even know I was like after them, like, like if God was angry, you don't want God angry. It's almost like God was in me, and I just, like it just was ridiculous the stuff that they would do. Things that I would make, they would destroy. Like I was decorating trees, they would rip things down. It looked beautiful. It looked like like a 5D area. It was so colorful and so beautiful. Things that, like I had stars tied up in the trees that could spin around with the wind. I had all these different things spinning around with the wind. Hearts that would do that, circles, different shapes. I ended up bringing them back home. But that was one of my spiritual awakenings that I had last year, and I was like, wow. I mean, I wasn't even stoned on this spiritual awakening. I've had other spiritual awakenings where I did smoke pot, but this started, before I even got to the parking spot, because I felt God already, and I didn't get stoned on the way because I was in such a rush to get out there. Oh, I forgot a part. Sorry. But I got to back it up a little bit. On my way there, okay, this guy, I'm near the bike trail, and this guy is walking in the grass where I normally walk. No, I know what it was. He's on the bike trail. I'm in the grass heading to the fort, and this guy, like the universe was letting me know, see that guy? Stay away from him. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay away from him. So what I did, here I'm walking on the grass. He's over here on the bike trail. And I decided to go this way, get away from this guy. And instead of this guy staying on a bike trail, he starts heading right towards me. And I'm like, I don't know this guy. He had a backpack and whatever. So he's coming towards me, and I'm trying to get away from him, but I'm still trying to head to my fort. And this guy freaking looks at, he comes right to me, like direct right to me. I couldn't even get away because I'm heading that way. And he goes, "You gotta leave." He's like, "It's not safe for you here." And I'm like, what the heck? Like, who are you? Like, like something, he was trying to scare me from going into my 5D fort. And I'm like, who are you? You don't know me. He goes, "I know you." And I'm like, he does not know me. I don't know you. How do you know me? And I'm like, well, who are you? He goes, "I just got attacked. I had a couple of guys that just attacked me on the bike trail." And I'm like, I'd never heard anything on, anybody being attacked on this bike trail. So that actually happened earlier before I headed. But you know what? I was learning about not fearing anybody and not fearing things and all that. So I ignored him. I couldn't believe he just kept on yelling at me, telling me that it's not safe, that I need to stop going that way. And I ignored him. I just kept on going. And that's when all the other stuff happened, when I got there and, had the staff and was using God's word. So I scared the heck. And it was so weird when I was actually using that staff and I was walking around, and I can actually swing things around with it. I had brothers that taught me, like how to do certain things. And I did. I had that staff, I had power inside of me that and this is why it's so important that you understand that you do have power in you. And I'm not nuts. I am just waking up. And I do have one more, unless I get another spiritual awakening soon, because it happened last year and this month, my birthday month, so I have one more spiritual awakening, and I know that's going to be, I don't know how many videos, because I'm trying to shorten my videos, so I don't know how many parts it's going to have. So, I do have a friend out there that can't wait for these particular videos because he's had his own spiritual awakenings. So everybody has different forms, different ways of having spiritual awakenings. So anyway, that was what happened last year, or on the month of August, on a Friday. It was a Friday because that's when I worked for those people, and it was the last day of the week. Ooh, sorry. So anyway, I hope you really enjoy that story of, you have power. is that we're not really using that power that we have. We have power in us, and we got power in the blood. We have, if you're God's children, aren't you, like your Father in heaven? So, well, they say in heaven is, we're here in heaven, right here on earth. So anyway, you do have power. I do love you a whole lot. And you can give this video a thumbs up. You can share it with a friend, your family members, a cat, a dog, a rabbit. Like you can share these videos with anyone. Plus, don't forget to push the notification bell. You can leave a message down below. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can contact me on, if you've had any weird stuff, please contact me on Instagram, because I'm not the only one having a spiritual awakening. Look up, what is a spiritual awakening? They have lots of other people like me that had spiritual awakenings on YouTube videos. That's how I found out what was, what happened to me is that I found out by trying to search it online, what happened, because I was labeled a certain thing, like a mental illness, and it's not. It's that I'm going through a spiritual awakening. I'm waking up to the truth that we do have power. So you can find me on Instagram, and that is at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook at Kathy with a K, Digman Starlight. So anyway, I really hope you like that story, and that's a true story, I'm telling you. That stuff is real. And don't be surprised. Maybe it's, if you're like me, like I always thought I was an alien from another planet, this could possibly happen to you. And it happens to certain people out in all around the world. Some of the doctors, they're scratching their head and they label it, they label it all wrong. Some people might know what is going on with the people, but, I believe a lot of doctors are in the dark when it comes to this kind of stuff. And that's why they label people, and I'm like, yeah, it doesn't line up with what I am. When they diagnosed me, I'm like, it doesn't make any sense what you're telling me. I don't believe what you're telling me. It's not lining up with what I went through. So anyway, I love you. You can, like I said, you can, send me a message on Instagram. Let me know what it was like for you on if you had a spiritual awakening. Anyway, this is Starlight. Love and light. Peace.